Hi Geminis, welcome to Eight of Cups Tarot and welcome to your tarot spread for May. I do want to tell you guys, I'm really sorry that these readings are late. It's been a little bit of a crazy couple of weeks. I probably don't have to tell you that, you probably already know. But at the same time, sitting down and pulling these cards, coincidentally mostly, on the day that the nodes are now shifting into the sign of Gemini, just seems to really make sense. It seems like timing is always perfect. Even if it frustrates us, it just seems to always be perfect. A lot like the other signs, well, exactly like all of the other signs, you're coming out in an energy that's much different than your typical energy. I think Sagittarius came out with cups, Cancer came out with wands. Everybody was kind of the exact opposite energy of what you would think they would be, which tells me that we're all kind of out of our element right now. We're all out of our comfort zone. We're all exploring different sides and probably a lot of shadow sides of ourselves. So the energy you're coming out in the beginning of May is a Queen of Discs. Now I do first of all want to say, I don't know if you're going to be coming out in this energy. I feel like intuitively, I feel like this is what you're working towards in May. And the Queen of Discs is Capricorn energy. Geminis and Capricorns. There's probably no better signs to really misunderstand each other than those two. But nonetheless, this is your energy. There's the goat. Card of Saturn, card of responsibility. There's a coolness to the Queen of Discs, and it's easy to focus on all of the things that she is, right? The Queen of Discs is the perfect partner, the perfect wife, the perfect husband, the perfect mother or father, that perfect level of foundation. The Queen of Discs does not ask for much, but she does demand to be treated according to her worth. I hope I made that clear. A Queen of Discs is never codependent. In fact, they are the epitome of independence. They don't need or rely on anybody for their stability. In fact, it is their intelligence, their foresight, their groundedness that creates a foundation for everyone that they love. That's why they are so reliable. But they're also known to be a little bit cold. Well, the truth is, and I can promise you I know, I have Capricorn in my chart. The truth is we're not cold. We are calculated. Yes. Our focus is always on the future. What's next? Next level stuff. So when you hear people say a Capricorn's never happy, Capricorn's never satisfied, well, that's just not true. We just know once you reach a goal, once you reach the top of a mountain, it doesn't mean that you have to lay down and rest. For a Capricorn, it's about being useful. It's about doing your part. That's what Saturn gives you in that energy. And this is what you're going to be feeling by the end of May. Like you're in control again. Like you have your foundations. You know your worth. You know what you bring to the table. You know value. You add value to everything. In your environment, it couldn't get any more beautiful. the universe. And look at this card in particular. I love this universe card. I'm going to try to get it. You guys can see it. She's kind of like steering, I don't know, what appears to be, I mean, I know it's supposed to be some kind of a steering device, but it almost looks like a machine gun. Like she's just poised, you know, to like take on the enemy, to know the experiences she or he wants to have and to go after and conquer them. The universe, I mean, that's all doors are opening. Pick a path, Gemini. You get to pick a path. What do you want? It's all up for grabs. It's new karmic cycles, right? Yeah, well, the nodes are in Gemini now. You get the opportunity to recreate yourself. You literally get this opportunity, and it doesn't happen more than once every 18 years of our lives, where you get to recreate who you are. Looking back now, take a look at where you were 18 years ago, the things that you were starting. Realize that maybe, you know, maybe there was a huge change there. Maybe you were going to college, deciding what you wanted to be 18 years ago. And here you are. Now you conquered that, and you're standing at the top of a mountain, and you're saying, okay, what's next? Where do I want to go now? Now, intuitively, I'm picking up on this energy of a whole lot of Geminis, like, what is she talking about? I have no idea what she's even talking about. This is so not a reflection of where I am in my life right now. Get it? I get it, because I also am really strongly picking up on your emotions right now. And so I know you're not there, or at least you don't see that. Because I think right now, Geminis are a little lost. I think Geminis are picking up on the energy of the loss around them and feeling a great responsibility. Because in a time when things can get difficult, in a time when things seem to be in upheaval, when things start to fall apart, it is the Gemini in all of us that gets to write that story, right? When everything falls apart, you have to recreate something new. Things have to leave. Other things have to become more prominent in your life. Decisions have to be made. And the last thing that you could do is give up hope. You really have to have faith, because even though it doesn't look like it now, in the next couple of weeks, your environment, your life is taking on a whole new meaning, a whole new direction. And I almost want to say, to let yourself feel the low, to let yourself feel the sadness that you feel, even if you don't understand it. I feel like some of my Geminis don't understand where it's even coming from. It is the mourning of the old. It's that old life that we're letting go, and the old ways that kept us stuck in that old life. Because a new is emerging, and it's powerful. Like, you are honestly literally giving birth to a new way of being. And so you have to say goodbye to the old and honor it and be grateful for it and surrender. You have to surrender. Now, I get really emotional, you know, because of everything that's going on right now, and I feel that shift within everyone, and I'm looking at these cards, and I just really want to focus on this one that made me understand where you're at, and that was the Rumi card, card number 20, the all-encompassing hand. You know, Gemini rules hands. And Geminis are known to do a lot of things with their hands. You know, you guys are always on your phone, good with technology. Instruments kind of come easy to you. Anything that you have to do with your hands, even crafts, even cooking. You know, in the use of your hands, there's power. That's why you guys make wonderful writers. Write with your hands, right? Do you pray with your hands? The all-encompassing hand, it is the card of prayer. And I want to read it to you because I think the way that it's written is so profound. You might really take something from this. Perhaps you are in need of reassurance, dearest one. Perhaps you have been feeling somewhat alone on your path, or struggling with a matter deep within your precious, beautiful heart, and speaking of it to no one. Such loneliness that can foster in the heart, with no other to bear witness to your life experience. You may question your life, your sanity, your truths, and create doubt where no doubt need be. This must stop now. You are worthy of so much more, and this suffering is not essential for your growth now. It is time to let it be and to open up to the touch of grace. So this oracle comes to you as a hand of the divine. It is all-encompassing hand, the hand that has no limitation upon the blessings it can bestow, upon the troubles it can lift from you, upon the tenderness it can communicate to you through sacred touch. Allow that divine hand to reach for you, beloved. Do not turn it away. Do not let old shame, guilt, or mistaken notions of false independence keep you from accepting this heavenly hand. This hand reaches to gently wipe away tears of the past. It will deftly unravel the ties that have bound your own hands, preventing you from fully giving and receiving according to your worth, which is inconstable and without limit. This divine hand will reach for you in your meditations, your sleep, and your prayers. It will reach for you through life circumstances, through the smile or hug you receive from another, or the touch of another human being. It will reach you through the song of a bird, the falling of leaves, the soft fur or of a beloved pet, through song lyrics that seem to speak what you are feeling deep inside, or the colorful dress of the stranger across the street who catches your eye and makes you smile. This divine hand is reaching for you now through this oracle. It's a lot of deep emotional stuff that's coming up and being healed. It hurts when it comes up. You have to look at it. But you look at it and then you let it go. And you pray for change. You pray for difference. This is your power now, Gemini. And that's what's happening this month. Now let's get into the weeks. Pull myself together a little bit after that. 9 of Wands, 4 of Pentacles. You're tired. You're tired of this facade, this safety net that you keep around yourself. But you're holding on to it. You're not going to let that wall down quite yet, but there's pressure in the first week. There's pressure. And I think there's a part of you that is saying, why am I doing this? Why am I fighting so hard? Why am I not, I get the energy of not speaking, of not understanding and not looking at things. Maybe you're avoiding something. Maybe you're avoiding reality because you're trying to hold on to life as you know it. I get it. Trying to avoid change. the Four of Pentacles isn't necessarily a bad card, but it definitely demonstrates an element of fear. You know, when you hold on to something so tightly, it's actually really counterproductive. So if you're trying to hold on to this image that you put forth of yourself, and the image could be that everything's fine. It's growing tiresome, you know? And I get that you want to save face. Maybe you feel like you don't want to bother people with you. Maybe things are so deep that you just don't know where to start. A challenge card is a High Priestess. So you do know, and you also are very well aware that you're fighting. You're fighting instincts, you're fighting intuition, or you're just not tapping in. You know, this card said, look for me in signs. So be open to the signs. Do not be all up in your head, okay? Even though the swords aren't coming out. You might be laser focused on money, financial, 3D world stuff, and not willing to tap into that emotional side of yourself. And that's just not going to cut it. It's actually going to create tension. Leading into the second week, 10 of Wands and the Death card in reverse. Now, I didn't have reversals in these cards. So when they do come up reversed, it's because it kind of flew out of the stack of cards and turned itself around on the table. If that happens, I'm certainly not arguing with Spirit. So the Death card in reverse, this is a whole nother level where you're struggling. You are struggling so hard to not allow something to end. Four of Pentacles, Death card in reverse, and you're coming out as a Queen of Discs. Are you being stubborn? Or somebody around you is being extremely stubborn? Either way, there's a sense of being stuck. The Death card in reverse always reminds me of purgatory. It's that time where you really got to let something go, but awkwardly it stays. And you're sort of going through this motion every day, but like you don't want to be there. Your energy isn't even there. It's not there. If that's a relationship, if it's a job, if it's a friendship, whatever it is, it's over. And holding on to it for an idea of not wanting to have an emotional confrontation isn't going to serve you. It's just going to make things harder. So, you know, it's kind of the lesser of two evils. Either you have to do the dirty work and say, hey, this isn't working for me anymore, I got to go. Or you got to start putting in a lot more effort, be willing to take on those burdens and allow the situation to improve. There's a decision. Challenge card, the Lovers, the card of decision. You're having a hard time knowing if you want to stay or if you want to go. Well, I think you're going to stay. I think whatever you're in now, I think whatever this energy is in the next couple weeks, it's just bringing things to the surface. Insecurities are creeping up, needing to form boundaries and keep people kind of a little bit away, maybe a little bit of a hermity energy. And there's an agitation here, like you're just ready to go out and get things started again. Yeah, we're all in that. Do not avoid the decision. It will not serve you. And if you want to make a right decision, then you need to pray. You need to go into your faith. You need to go into your meditations, into your practices. For Christ's sake, go into your backyard, stare at the sky, listen to the birds, look at nature. There's always answers there. Animals running across your yard, thoughts coming into your mind, like in the quiet, that's where the answers will come. You don't have to struggle. And these answers aren't coming from your mind so much. Those answers are, you know, especially when we're moving into a Venus retrograde, sudden and abrupt decisions where you just think, okay, I just have to end it. Yeah, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's going to come back to bite you. You're going to regret it, you know, do all that retrograde stuff, and it's not going to last. You're going to get back together, and nothing is really going to be solved or changed. These decisions have to come from the heart, and it means you have to take a time out. You have to get to know yourself. You have to start understanding. Again, if it's a job, if it's a relationship, how does your energy feel with that person? How do you feel when you're at that job? What does your body feel like? Pay attention to those signs. Third week, things start to lighten up. Yes, they do. There's a real social fun element in this third week. Page of Wands and the Three of Cups. This could be somebody new coming into your life, a new creative project, a new creative opportunity. It could just be being able to go out for like a flippin' date. You know, Page of Wands, like you're stuck in a house together, you kind of want to rip each other's faces off, and then all of a sudden the gates open, the restaurant's open, and you go out to dinner, you put on a nice fancy dress, you maybe have a glass of wine or two, and you really enjoy yourself. Awesome. Great energy. Challenge card is your 10 of Wands. That Death card in reverse, if you made the decision, okay, two different scenarios here, much like a Gemini. If you made the decision to work on this relationship or stay in this job in a way in which you're going to man up, you're going to really devote yourself to it, you're going to really get into it, then the Page of Wands and the Three of Cups means it's time to celebrate. There's a reconciliation. We're getting back together. We're having makeup, sex. Everything's wonderful. Challenge card, 10 of Swords. Let the past go. If you decide to reconcile, let the past go. It can't come with you. Now, if you decided that you were sick and tired of the situation, you didn't want it anymore, and ended the situation, you may meet somebody new. You may go out, socialize, meet somebody. It may be a fun evening, but I think you're going to regret it. Real careful, because Venus retrograde squaring your Neptune. This is your 1st and 10th house. If you're getting a little bit crazy, you know, like maybe you've been in a long-term relationship and it finally came to an end, and you have that night out with the guys and the night with the girls, be real careful with the way you act, because it could have a real negative tone to the way people see you, or even to the way that you see yourself. Your reputation might be at play. There's kind of a level of scandal here. So, you know, either or, just be careful. Also, be careful with messing around with work associates. Watch about the way that you're letting loose around people that you work with. You know, be careful to keep things on a professional level in that second week. When Venus turns retrograde, Jupiter stations, you know, Saturn's retrograded. Anything that you do now, especially during a Saturn retrograde, so like from now until September, be careful. You know, don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, don't do all the things you're not supposed to do. If you step out on a relationship and cheat, I promise you this fall it will be found out and exposed. If you proposition somebody at work inappropriately, it's going to come back and bite you in the ass. So just be careful with that energy. Again, I don't want to scare everybody, though. I mean, I'm just bringing up what the cards are telling me. More than likely, I feel like most Geminis are just going to get a night or a weekend in which you get to really let loose and have fun. Don't spend too much money. Don't do things that you'll regret. But for all intents and purposes, go. Have fun. You need it. Because in the fourth week, things are going to get serious. And the fourth week, the Knight of Pentacles offers the Queen of Discs something substantial. Now, it could be an engagement, absolutely. Knight of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles. Yeah, it could be any form of taking something to the next level. It could also be a promotion. It could be involving a air sign like yourself, King of Swords. Also take note that whatever comes from that third week activity, you're stepping into a new phase by the end of May in which you're building and collaborating better with others. Three of Cups, Three of Pentacles, reconciliation and building towards the future, moving in together, talking about having the babies, doing all the things that couples do, maybe talking about, what kind of wedding would you want? It could be that energy. It could also be the energy where indiscretions that happened in the second week start getting talked about by other people. Just really be careful in that third week. King of Swords in your challenge, that's why I say that. There's communication, there's other people. Watch out for people talking about you. Making you kind of lose stature, lose a little bit of respect. You might fall down a notch on the status ladder of life. Everybody's going to survive. But if that's something, that could be detrimental to your career, depending what you do for a living, just be careful. I can't say it enough. So again, and I love picking up on that duality with Gemini, you could be entering the greatest, most substantial and foundationally safe relationship of your life, or you could be throwing caution to the wind and starting all over. I don't know. It's really up to you. The Lover's card, you get to make the call. It's the universe. What do you want to experience? What do you want this next phase of your life to be about? What are you wanting? What do you want to invite in? Do you want stability? Do you want love? Do you want commitment? Or is that something you've spent the last 20 years doing and you're like, no, dude, I want to shake it up. I don't want people to depend on me anymore. I just want to be out for myself. Either way, that's fine. But this next decision that you make, when you determine what path you're going to go on, remember you're going to go on that path. It's a new